Hey guys, I'm going to be covering Daredevil Season 2, Episodes 2 and 3, Dogs to the Gunfight, and New York's Finest. Now, the following morning after the season premiere, when Matt gets shot in the head, Foggy's able to find him on the rooftop and get him back to his apartment and just, I guess just, get him out of costume just to make sure he doesn't attract any unwanted attention. Matt's too stubborn to go to the hospital, and Foggy's getting pissed about him going on these crusades and putting his life in danger, and he's gonna take the costume, and Matt refused to let him do so. But it turns out, even though he's suffering the effects of a gunshot wound to the head, where he starts to lose his hearing, and so like I said, he's like the chemical accident allows his hearing to act as like kind of like a sonar, so he can kind of see what's going on. But because he loses his hearing, he's a fish. He's as blind as a normal blind person, essentially. He's and for and apparently for when Karen and Foggy are trying to put Grotto in protective custody, they're confronted by the DA Samantha Reyes, who wanted to convict Jessica Jones for murder at the end of her show for murdering Kilgrave, and basically and Foggy's able to threaten her with going above her head to the U.S. Attorney's Office about trying to take the case from them, and responding to Grotto's. But she says that in order for Grotto to go into protective custody, they had to participate in some sting operation to get a drug dealer that he has connections with. And Karen and Foggy get him to reluctantly agree, but it turns out that it's not really a sting operation to get a drug deal. It's basically to he's basically being used as bait to draw out the Punisher, who's being seen getting police radio equipment from a pawn shop, who Frank beats to death when he finds out that he sells child porn. And then he also gets a truck from a chop shop, from which he guns down everybody there, and the truck drives into a shipyard, or a crate, drives into a shipyard, or like a crate yard, or ship crate yard or something, and the SWAT team is trying to shoot at the truck, but then it turns out that the guy was already dead, and then the Punisher knew it was a trap, and it leads to a fight between Daredevil and the Punisher, in which the Punisher ends up winning, and it's even the SWAT team is trying to gun down the Punisher, even though they don't care if they hit Daredevil, because they just want to get the intended target. But Matt loses his hearing again, and so it's why the Punisher is able to get the one up on him and kidnap him. And basically, and in episode 3, Matt's chained up to a chimney, and Frank's on a rooftop getting ready to take down Dogs of Hell, and they're having this debate over whether. And Frank feels like Daredevil's is basically a half measure and just one bad day away from being him, and how he's able to and how he feels like he's able to end threats permanently. And Matt's is trying to get to open up and get to know him, and get inside his head and just tell him what he does doesn't justify whoever he's lost, or whatever he's suffered from, doesn't justify killing, and that everybody even if everybody has a spark of humanity, a spark of goodness in them, and by killing these people, even if they're criminals, they're taking away their second chance, they're taking away their chance to redeem themselves. And if he really doesn't believe that people are irredeemable or inherently good, even a little bit, then he's basically a psychopath, which Frank to punch him unconscious. And because and basically Karen gets a phone call from Grotto telling her to fuck off because he felt betrayed by her, and that she broke her promise to protect him. And this leads and Foggy's like in the hospital trying to talk to Rosario Dawson. Claire, I think is her name is, and she talks about how she's been in emergency room duty for a month for helping Luke Cage get out of the hospital in the Jessica Jones season finale. So he just wants to know if he's ever like turned up. There are any reports of him turning up because he doesn't know where to find him. And then of course because there's so many criminals there in the ER because of what the Punisher's been doing, and two of the gangbangers are about to get into a fight, and he just says like if either one of you stab one another in front of all these witnesses, I can't, you're done, you're in jail, I can't help you, etc. And then Matt finds himself in a situation in which a revolver's taped to one of his hands. The Punisher is able to find Grotto, and Grotto confesses to he actually was asked to hire to kill some people, and he says he was just following orders. And Frank gives Matt the choice to either shoot him or shoot Grotto. Matt just shoots the chains off to get himself free, but he's not quick enough to stop Frank from shooting Grotto dead. And he's saying, like, why didn't you shoot him? Why didn't you save me? And he apologizes, and Matt apologizes profusely. And he's able to stop Frank's attack on the Dogs of Hell, the motorcycle gang. And it leads to this really awesome fight scene in which it's similar to like that fight scene from like season 1, like I think there was episode 2 where they're doing it down the hall, except now he's doing it down like some stairwells against the different dogs of hell. You can tell there were like some like it wasn't like it wasn't like a panning shot. You can tell that there was some like a couple of jump cuts in there, but it was still a pretty cool sequence, on its own merits. Unfortunately, because of the fight, Frank is able to get away. But as an interesting side note, the episode does end with Karen going through an X-ray file of Frank Castle. It's a picture of his skull, but it has a bullet hole in his head. Obviously, of course, in foreshadowing the skull symbol he's going to be wearing on his, I guess, like on his quote-unquote costume. Anyway, it's been a great season so far. It's pretty addicting. I just wish I had more time to like marathon through it, but I've been working all weekend, so I'm gonna try to get to do another video with maybe the next 2 or 3 episodes. You can check out my review for the season premiere, and also I've just put up some other reaction videos, teasers for Legends of Tomorrow, as well as the Lego Batman movie and Luke Cage. So what do you guys think of these 2 episodes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.